Nancy Guthrie, guys, we got an update. The new deadline is tonight, and the siblings are ready to pay, ladies and gentlemen. This is the latest that we have on the case. We're approaching a critical turning point. USA, ha ha ha, get it? We're going to cover their, what's it called? They had their own Super Bowl halftime show, Turning Point USA. It was cringe. It was ridiculous. You saw the TikToks where it was like everybody else was sitting in the living room just enjoying the one that Bad Bunny put on. Not really enjoying it, admittedly. It was a bizarre thing. He got married during it. There was grass walking a bunch of places. It was a festival, and I haven't seen anything like it since I did shrooms. But I'm just gonna tell you, it was bizarre. I wasn't a big fan of it, and I didn't understand most of the music, which is perfectly fine. Listen, it's nothing against him being a Spaniard. I'm just not into most of what the genre that he produces. It's just not for me. I enjoy a lot of Spanish music. I enjoy Chavela Vargas. I'm probably mispronouncing her name, but I remember that's just how I've heard it pronounced. She did a lot of the music for Frida. It's a great movie. I'm not disrespecting my Hispanic brothers and sisters. I'm just trying to say, whatever. Let's move on. Guys, there's some serious stuff. KSDK news update.
The search for Nancy Guthrie is now in its 9th day, and there are still no suspects. The Sheriff's Department says detectives have been following up at multiple locations, but those details are not being disclosed. We also learned over the weekend that Nancy's possible abductor is demanding $6 million in Bitcoin by this evening.
Oh, he's not going to be happy with one of our headlines later because Bitcoin prices are at the low... hold on. We'll cover that when we get there. Bitcoin's not doing too hot. That's just the most that you need to know right now. We'll cover that in our rapid fire section.
Video released Saturday. Savannah Guthrie and her siblings issued a clear message.
We beg you now to
This video is weird because it appears as though Savannah Guthrie has 6 fingers. It appears as though her thumb and her 4 fingers look normal, but then she has this other thumb sticking out from the other side. If you want to take a look at the video yourself, I'd highly recommend it. But I think people have been claiming in the comment sections of all of these videos where there are people commenting, AI. There have been people saying, no, that's her sister's. That's her sister's thumb. And I'm like, I guess I can see it. It's really awkwardly positioned. And also, the way that they word shit in this video is so weird. They go, bring her back to us so we can celebrate. Who says it like that? I'm sorry. I know this isn't probably being scripted by the FBI, whoever's in charge of the investigation. But what I'm trying to say is that the wording is just bizarre. It doesn't make them look any less guilty. And I've been suspect of the fact that that Annie, her sister, has been weird. Her brother's been weird ever since they started the investigation. The fact that they went and searched Annie's home, we'll cover that. They searched Annie's home because it appears that they left with boxes. We'll cover it.
Issued a clear message.
Here's their video.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
NBC News is reporting
with
the video
Maze.
is a response to a second
They're gonna pay with
note sent to a
Maze.
TV station in Tucson, and according to the FBI, authorities are trying to determine whether the second note has the same origin as the first ransom note that several news outlets also received.
Gush. Anyways, Annie Guthrie, if you're not aware, she is the sister. She's the one with glasses. She's kind of the frumpier of the sisters. I'm sorry to say it. It's just kind of true. She does not know how to wear a collared shirt. I'm sorry, the button, you're Trump administrationing it. You look like you're doing the Mar-a-Lago thing where you unbutton it enough to show off the crucifix, like where it's kind of skank maxing, but it's whatever. It's no slander on her. It just doesn't look the best. And Annie Guthrie, I've been kind of weird about her ever since they put out the first video, and the brother is fucking even weirder. He's got this weird, I don't know what the face is. He just has this hardness, kind of like, who is the actor from fucking Step Brothers? That one guy who goes pow. God, he's in everything. He's a veteran, right? Step Brothers cast. Fuck, I have to get this right. Otherwise, I'm gonna Rob Riggle. It's Rob Riggle, right? Yes, it is Rob Riggle, and he is an icon, by the way, Rob Riggle, because you might recognize his voice as the Aloysius O'Hare from the Lorax. God, this man, he is a legend. He's a legendary figure. Anyways, Annie Guthrie's home was searched. The reason I brought up Rob Riggle is because he reminds me of the brother. But anyways. And I hope that he plays them in the I hope that he plays the brother in the Netflix adaptation of this, because it will be a murder mystery type of thing. Annie Guthrie's home has been searched. Let's just review that.
Annie Guthrie's home in Tucson, Arizona, with the very latest. Robert?
Kathy and Jonathan, the very latest would be that those investigators left this home and the property just about an hour and a half ago. While inside, there appeared to be camera flashes coming from inside of the home as well as inside of the garage. The house, as you said, belongs to Annie Guthrie and her husband, but it has been empty for the last several days with only security guards parked outside, and they remain here tonight. Now, the purpose of their presence here this evening, the Sheriff's Department telling NBC News they are continuing to conduct follow-ups in the investigation into the disappearance.
Why would you need to conduct follow-ups at one of her daughter's residencies? I mean, unless, of course, she has they have reason to believe that she has some level of involvement.
Of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, we know how old she is.
They
God.
have been here before, and tonight, sheriff's detectives returned to the home of Savannah Guthrie's sister Annie and her husband. Earlier, Savannah, with her sister and brother beside her, pleading for their mother's return.
Bring her to
We
us.
received your message, and we understand.
We understand.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her.
Can celebrate with her.
This is
Who the
only way
fuck
we
says
will have
that?
peace. This is very valuable to us.
Yeah, you guys are weird.
And we will pay.
Yesterday, investigators...
Savannah's not the weird one here. It's the two other siblings, and maybe Savannah's in on it because she's always had that Mr. Beast stare where I don't know if she has a soul or not because, I don't know, the crow's feet are just not there for her age. I don't know, but you can see whether or not people have emotions. It's been tapered on their faces. You know what I mean? It's just a fact of life. Savannah Guthrie, she also looks like a woman, and this is a compliment, who looks like she doesn't have any work done. She looks very naturally aged. She looks like maybe she's had a nip or a tuck there, but like I don't know that she's had any major work done, but like she just her conveyance is not an emotional face. I feel like it's more of a conniving wolf-like face. You know what I mean? That's more the posture that I get from her face. But it's no slander. It's no slander on her name, no slander on her sibling's name. But anyways,
Were back at Nancy
maybe they
Guthrie's
both,
home.
maybe they all
Drone
did it.
video showing FBI
Maybe they're Fratellis. You know the Goonies, the Fratellis. It's like Ma. Well, I guess they kidnapped Ma, but like no, it's the siblings this time. It's the Fratellis, and then they're the goons. They're the goons. One of them is a news producer. Two of them, no one knows what the fuck they do. They marry guys with weird names, and no one knows what the husband is up to at all. You know what I mean?
Agents searching every inch of the property, disconnecting and removing a device from the roof, and climbing up a ladder into dense vegetation.
Oh, removing a device from the roof. That looks like a camera. Maybe something showing that they brought the mom to the residence after kidnapping her. I don't know.
A vehicle believed to be Nancy's towed away. Investigators also looking for potential clues in a second note sent to the same Tucson TV station that received a ransom note through...
By the way, Tucson should be pronounced Tucson. Tucson. It just looks like Tucson to me.
their anonymous tip line earlier this week.
I did not enjoy receiving that.
Authorities have not said what's in it, if it's connected to the first note, or if either is legitimate.
There is something in there that we believe they're trying to convey.
The station's news director also sharing the latest note was not a ransom demand and did not include proof of life.
Well, shit.
We do not know if Savannah is referring to this message when she speaks to a possible kidnapping.
Yeah, in this famous photo, the one where they're dressed like the Portal colors, where Nancy's wearing blue and Savannah's wearing orange, they both have, well, Nancy, she just looks like she has an old person smile. Maybe she's tired. She doesn't have the energy to really put on the like intense eye smile. Because you can see when people are really smiling, their eyes tense up. Neither of them really have a tenseness in their eyes. And I think it might be the old one I can excuse because maybe Nancy, she's 80-something in that picture. Savannah, though, you don't really have an excuse to not really be using your eyes for that smile. But like, whatever.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
I know you will with Maze.
After Savannah posted that Instagram video, the Sheriff's Department telling NBC News they had no comment. Earlier, they stated they have no suspects and no persons of interest in the investigation at this time. The Sheriff's Department also making it clear that they would have nothing to say publicly unless there was and I'm quoting here, significant development. Live in Tucson, I'm Robert Kavasic. Kathy and Jonathan, let's go back to you. Rob?
What counts as significant anymore in this world? You know what I mean? The ransom deadline that we already have is approaching. It's pretty much, I don't know if it's too late. Is it too late? These women can inform us.
Well, the FBI is now posting digital billboards across Houston and Texas in the search for Nancy Guthrie, now in week 2. But are investigators any closer to figuring out what happened? Today is the second deadline for an alleged ransom note. Fox's Caroline Elliott has the latest from Tucson, Arizona.
Hurry up. I don't want to bore the audience.
The alleged kidnappers are asking for $6 million in Bitcoin by 5 p.m., and the Guthrie family says they're willing to pay it.
Now we've only got, guys, as the time I'm recording this, it's just about noonish, you know what I mean? They've only got 5 hours, really, to make the choice about whether or not they're going to send the Bitcoin today. I don't know if they will. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Nancy is alive. I'm pretty sure she isn't. I'm making the call. Guys, if this is the 9th hour, what do they call it in football? I don't give a shit. I'm making the reference because it was the Super Bowl. But I'm just saying that, like, in the 11th hour, that's what it's probably called. I don't know. I'm going to make the call. I'm going to make my final prediction. This is like predicting the election before the election comes out. This thing maybe turns out tomorrow that the family pays or doesn't pay. I'm going to say this. That's the big debate. Are they going to pay or are they not going to pay? I don't think they're going to pay because I feel as though it's going to come out that the siblings were in on it to some extent. I don't know if Savannah was as well. I believe this was all an elaborate scheme that was plotted out, a very Fargo type scheme where it was William H. Macy paying to have his wife kidnapped. And, you know what I mean? If you've seen Fargo, you should know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a great movie. It's a fantastic for the ages film. And it teaches you a lot about how people, they will put their loved ones in danger for a buck sometimes. And let's be honest with you. This is not the product of some local terrorist, domestic terrorist group going, Savannah Guthrie interviewed a bunch of Epstein victims or interviewed Trump and made him look like an idiot back in 2020 with the town hall. So let's fucking kidnap her mom and hold her for ransom and get money. Ransom for money never happens in this world, and inadvertently, I think it might come out that this was one of two options. Yes, there's obviously the siblings. I think that's probably the most likely thing. And it's if the second option, if that's true, you're never going to figure it out. It's that the United States programmed this whole thing to happen, where it was they sent out somebody to distract from the Epstein files. They kidnapped this bitch because inadvertently, it's who cares? It's a Today Show's mother? What? A Today Show? She's a co-host. No one else would hear about this. Is something that you would hear about in lost media, something that would in 2050 a kid would be watching this and it's back in 2026 a Today Show host's mother disappeared and then here's the lost footage of the siblings pleading for her release. It's one of those cases. It's not a mainstream case that would get global recognition in any other time, but it's the most publicly decent case to put out there besides the Epstein files. That's at least my prediction. A little bit. I would say that it's more likely though that the siblings pulled some sort of Fargo move. That's my first prediction. Second prediction is government conspiracy to cover up the Epstein files.
If it means their mom
shift public attention.
We beg you now to return.
We've
our mother
heard
to
y'all
us so that we
yapping.
can celebrate with her.
You guys might have done
This
it.
is the only way we will have peace.
I'm sorry.
Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie pleading for her mom's life after police say 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped from her home.
This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
It's now been 9 days since Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, and as far as we know, the family has not seen any evidence she's still alive.
This was certainly
She needed the medication, guys. She's dead.
Which is one of the initial questions everybody had.
Over the weekend, investigators continued searching Nancy Guthrie's home, and on Sunday seemed to focus on a manhole in the backyard. On Saturday night, police also returned back to Nancy's daughter, Annie's home. The latest from investigators Sunday is there still is no suspect or person of interest in this case.
I believe that at this point, what the FBI is focusing on quite heavily is tightening up the timeline.
The family and investigators are holding out faith, hoping the Bitcoin wallet included in the ransom note could offer some clues.
Blah, blah,
Once
blah.
they take it off of Bitcoin onto another currency, it's at that very moment that even if it's on international territory, we'll still see it.
Today, the biggest focus is going to be that 5 p.m. deadline to pay the ransom. And the note says if the family does not pay by then, it threatened a more serious consequence. And
She's
on
dead,
Arizona,
guys.
Caroline Elliott.
I'm sorry to say it. I'm not trying to will anything poor for this, but guys, it's the story as it is, and I'm making the predictions right now. It's probably a Fargo movie, because remember the wife? She died in it. Remember the big quiet guy with the white hair? He gets left at the cabin with her, and she's found after, remember Steve Buscemi, he walks into the cabin and he goes like, you should see the other guy. And then he looks down and the wife of William H. Macy, the Nancy Guthrie in this case, is dead. And he goes, the fuck happened to her? And then the big quiet guy goes, she kept screaming and, And then he goes, oh, whatever. And then eventually the big quiet guy, he turns on. And I think the big quiet guy in this case is the brother. I think the brother is going to be the big quiet guy where he's like, mother, she just wouldn't stop screaming. And then Annie is going to be Steve Buscemi, where she walks through the thing. And then she's going to set down the money. And she's going to be like, I'm taking the car. You can have the other one. And then he's like, we split that. And then she goes, and she's going to go, what the fuck are you talking about? How you split a car, dummy? And then he's like, you pay me for half. And then she goes, no, you motherfucker, we're not doing that. I've been putting up with this shit. I'm the one who actually got the fucking money. And then she goes, screw you. And then eventually she's going to walk out of the cabin. She's going to be trying to walk back to her car. He's going to come out of the cabin, put on the hat sloppily with an axe, and then he's going to go swing it into his own sister. And I'm just sorry to say it. It's how Fargo ended. I don't know if history will repeat itself, but history certainly does have a weird way of mimicking movies, or at least people have a weird way of mimicking movies. At least it's something I've noticed, and maybe it's something that's going to come true in this case. Let's pray it doesn't, ladies and gentlemen. Let's really hope that it does not come true in this case.